All right, now we're going to go over the do's and don'ts of promoting buyer's compensation. As Amy said before, there's now two relationships. There's the seller and their relationship with the listing agent that determines what they're going to get paid for the work that they do. The second part of that relationship is the buyer's agent is going to have their own compensation agreement, how the buyer is paid. However, part of the settlement agreement is that there will be no co-brokes offered in the multiple listing service. However, one of the options you do have is the seller can still pay buyer concessions for that buyer to make it easier for them to purchase the home, especially if they have cash formation issues. But there's some things we can't do with the settlement. We can't offer a co-broke through the multiple listing service. We can't add comments in the multiple listing service about buyer's agent compensation as a co-broke or a percentage of the seller concession being from the buyer's agent. You definitely can offer concessions, but it can't be just changing of terminology to get around the rule. We're moving through this in good faith of what the rule is, and that's really the buyer gets to determine what their amount of compensation is with the buyer through a buyer's agency agreement. We don't want to participate in non-MLS mechanisms for that, for the purpose of going around the co-broke offers. Not social media, not different areas where we're just promoting it in a way in bad faith. So there are dues, and you absolutely can offer, your seller can absolutely offer seller concessions to help a purchaser buy the house, especially if they're having issues with cash formation and they want to really give the option to finance that amount of money. And seller concessions absolutely can be put into the multiple listing service. You can feel free to include your seller concessions and buyer incentives in your marketing materials. The idea is to widen the amount of people looking at the home, increasing the potential number of buyers for the seller, which will increase the amount of money they get for the house. You just have to make sure you understand that you explain the process to the seller of the advantage of seller concessions.